speaking to somebody last night. Yesterday evening. Came to the door. Happened to be in. And near where I live, believe it or not, this is actually happening here, up here at North, where I live, in Calderdale. There's a residential road, built up area, residential. Yeah, that's a distinction, built up area. Built up area can be a main road passing through somewhere where there's a lot of houses, but residential is actually the side roads. And this particular road is residential. It's a main road passing through, excuse me, quite a large housing estate. But it's tree lined. It's tree lined, it is. It's absolutely lovely. It's lovely. I mean, nowadays, what with global warming and that, there's a very short amount of time when there's no leaves on trees. So it's always a really picturesque. Well, the council are putting forward a plan to put some cycle lanes in along this particular stretch of road. So, to facilitate this, you won't be able to park along this stretch of road. So there's quite a lot of houses. As I've previously mentioned, it's residential. So the houses that back onto this particular road, tough shit. You're going to lose your parking spaces because we're putting a cycle lane. A cycle lane. It's going to be a dedicated cycle lane. Well, how do you know that, Daniel? Because it's not just simply just a new bit of bloody white paint on the road. No. I kid you not. They're going to be cutting down the trees. This road that's lined with trees. Well, trees are getting cut down. Because the trees are positioned where they're wanting to put the cycle lane. A proper, real deal, no fucking about. Probably two-way cycle lane. There's another cycle lane that's popped up in other parts of the town where I live. And that's even more ridiculous. No trees were harmed in the production of that particular cycle lane. But it's an actual... it's a cycle lane that cyclists won't use. Okay. People who've actually bothered their arse to get a bicycle and are actually going to ride it around with intent to actually use it to get places. They're not going to use this cycle lane. Well, how could you say that? Because I've spoken to people who are cyclists. I don't mean half-assed people like myself who've got a bicycle and they might ride it up and down now and then. No, I'm talking about people who use their bicycles to get to work and get home. And then they go out at night with their other cycling mates and just pedal around. Where? I don't know. They're crazy. They're crazy. But yeah, the actual dyed in the wool, I've got a bicycle and I actually use it type people, they don't use cycle lanes. Or at least they don't use that type of cycle, actual dedicated cycle lanes. The other sort that I myself refer to as fly tipping lanes that you get at the side of the road that have got a bit of paint, a little bit, about a metre. About a metre out from curb and there's another bit of paint there. Cycle lane. Don't park in the cycle lane when it's in use. Don't park in a cycle lane if it's an unbroken white line. I think that's the ruling. If it's a broken white line, you can park in cycle lane. Well, these new this new brew, this new generation. A new generation of cycle lanes, they're all dedicated, they are. Actual tarmacked area on the footpath. But like I say, this particular residential street, it's going to have all trees cut down of it to facilitate. They're going to cut trees down to facilitate people using their bicycles. Trees that, if I remember rightly, when I was at school, we were taught the carbon cycle. And the trees, through a process of, I think they call it photosynthesis. Chlorophyll, I think it is, chlorophyll. Whatever it is that gives leaves the green colour, that actual thing, the trees are more important. Like I say, the green leaves you've got sunshine, carbon dioxide. I think water is somewhere involved in the equation. I think it's the chlorophyll. It's something in the green leaves that reacts with the sun shining on it. That's where you get the word photosynthesis, because it involves a bit of sunshine falling on leaf. And the carbon dioxide, I'm not sure if it's carbon monoxide as well. It's carbon dioxide is a carbon atom. Carbon dioxide. With 2 CO2. Yeah, it's a carbon atom with 2 oxygen atoms. Or molecules, atoms. But carbon monoxide is carbon and 1 oxygen. Because carbon monoxide will bond irreversibly with hemoglobin. Both carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide are asphyxiants. You can't breathe them, but carbon monoxide bonds with your hemoglobin. A lungful of carbon dioxide is not as problematic as a lungful of carbon monoxide. But anyway, so photosynthesis, if I remember, it exchanges the carbon dioxide and it produces sugars, I think. It produces some sort of energy for the plant. And a byproduct of this is oxygen. It releases the oxygen molecule again from the CO2. So you've got these trees there doing the business, doing the CO2. CO2 requisition. They're reclaiming out of the atmosphere all the CO2. Well, not all of it, but a good chunk of it. A damn sight more of it than there will be once they get cut down and a cycle lane put in their place. Well, this person I was talking to at weekend, they were trying to get some signatures on a bit of paper. I was like, yeah, I'll give you my signature. Oh, for sure. Because I happened to be in area at the time. But it's that's a thing. That's actually a thing that's happening. They're going to cut trees down to put a cycle lane in.